Hey everybody, welcome to the first lesson for our biology course. Yay! So for the first video, we will be talking about the characteristics of life. Now you may be wondering, what actually makes something alive? Great question. There are 7 main characteristics of life and we'll go into detail for each one. Now the first characteristic of life is that all of life grows and develops. This means that the organisms get bigger, become more complex, and develop. Now, as I've written here, they increase in size and go through transformations. As you can see from this really cool image of cows, the cow first starts off as a calf, as you can see, and then it grows and develops into an adult cow, right here. Now, the second characteristic of life is that it all requires materials and energy. Now, what is energy? Energy is basically the ability to do work. Now, how can life get energy? Well, the main source of energy for life is actually the sun. But another way life can get energy is through metabolism. Metabolism is a combination of anabolism, which is synthesizing or building up molecules, and catabolism, which is breaking the molecules down. The next is that all living things have and maintain homeostasis. Homeostasis is basically an ability to maintain an internal balance. A popular example of this is the heart. The heart helps the body maintain homeostasis by regulating its body temperature. On a hot day, your heart starts to pump more blood, causing you to sweat and dissipate this heat, cooling you down. The cold causes your blood vessels to contract and your heart pumps more blood, keeping you warm. As you can see, this is a really cool diagram of the heart, and we'll be going into more detail in this specific diagram in the future lessons. So this is going to be really interesting, and I know you guys are going to love this. Now, the next characteristic of life is that all life have adaptations. These are changes in the organism over time occurring from natural selection, and mutations. One example of an adaptation is shown in this bear. As you can see, this bear has some fur on it. What this fur does is it basically keeps the bear warm, and this is a popular example of an adaptation. The fifth characteristic of life is it all responds to stimuli. Stimuli is basically external changes to the environment for the organism. A popular example, again, is when a plant is facing a light source, and say this light source moves over here. This plant will also move over here, and face this way. Now, the sixth unit of life is that it's all made up of cells, and cells are the basic unit of life. As you can see, this is an animal cell, and we'll be going into more detail of each of these cells, and we'll be going into more detail for the animal cell, the plant cell, and specialized human cells. Now, the last characteristic of life is that it can reproduce. This basically means that it can generate offspring through processes such as meiosis, mitosis, using systems such as the reproductive system, and so much more, which we will be talking about in later lessons. So I highly recommend you guys to continue watching and learning through this course because it's really interesting. Also, I just wanted to include this picture. It's a cute baby koala. Well, I hope you guys were able to learn a lot about what makes something living. This was just the foundation of biology, and we'll be going much deeper into all of these topics in the coming weeks. I hope you are all excited to learn more about biology and stay tuned for the next lesson.